Oakland Athletics baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
When a pennant race is on the line, help can be a good thing. Today, reinforcements arrived with the addition of former Diamondback shortstop Stephen Drew. It's also a big day in Oakland with the return of Brett Anderson to the hill. For the first time since Tommy John surgery, the 24-year-old left-hander will be looking for his first win since May of 2011. And the Green and Gold welcome him back for the postseason push. Can the A's get back in the win column? Game 2 of this 3-game series against the Twins is next. Well, he's here, folks. The new athletic shortstop, Stephen Drew, arrived about, maybe 2.5, 3 hours ago. Got a chance to work out with his new team. He is in the lineup tonight. So Stephen Drew and Brett Anderson is back. So it is a busy night at the ballpark. Brett Anderson back from Tommy John surgery, and he is set to go tonight. And the A's looking for a win. They lost last night. So it's game 2 of this 3-game series, the Twins and the Athletics. And you'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, we're heading into September. Not there yet, but we're close. But, boy, today was a busy day, Ray. Guys were coming. Guys were going. Why don't you tell us about the roster moves?
I don't think we have enough time, but we'll give it a try. But Stephen Drew, of course, acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. But you look what happened as a result of that. You look at the disabled list for Jordan Alberto. Seth Smith comes off the disabled list. But I think the surprising part of the whole thing was Jamal Weeks, second baseman for the Athletics, being optioned to AAA. He's very disappointed, but there was some talk that maybe that would happen. Cliff Pennington and Adam Rosales are still with the ball club. They're going to play second. So Stephen Drew acquired from the Diamondbacks. He's in the lineup tonight batting second.
So Drew got a chance to work out. Got here about 4:30, walked out. The team was already on the field. He does know the manager, Bob Melvin. He played for him in Arizona, so he does know some of the guys.
And Chip Hill, his coach, he had him in AAA and also with the Diamondbacks. But I think this is class right there. Cliff Pennington, the shortstop. Of course, Drew is going to play short with those other two we mentioned, rotating, platooning at second base. But a great addition if he can play as he did in Arizona prior to getting hurt.
So certainly Stephen Drew, that's a big story. But maybe even a bigger story is Brett Anderson tonight. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. His first start, and boy, is it good to see him back on the mound.
It's great to see him. June the 5th is when he last pitched, and of course had the surgery, the Tommy John surgery, 14 months, and being put in the lineup right now. It's to help this ball club win, not to show that he can pitch for the future. They want him to pitch right now, and because of the 30 days that he was allowed to spend rehabbing at AAA, AA, all across, getting point to where he can pitch tonight, I think that's the most remarkable thing. Very excited for him. He's lost a lot of weight. He's in great shape. Let's hope his arm is ready.
And it could be a huge boost for the A's, getting a fresh and really a new arm in Brett Anderson for the pennant race. So let's hope it works out. Cole DeFries, the young right-hander, will pitch for the Twins. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back.
California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Toyota, check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
The fans already welcoming Stephen Drew, who is in the lineup at shortstop, dressed in the all white with the green and gold trim. So busy day for Stephen Drew, no doubt. Found some white shoes to wear. And Brett Anderson's first pitch to Ben Revere is outside. So we are underway here at the Coliseum. Very nice night for baseball. A's and Twins, game 2 of the series. Brett Anderson back from Tommy John surgery. So it's a big night, a busy night.
9-2 with that heater.
So how could you not be a little pumped up if you're Brett Anderson?
Then he pitched against the Twins on April the 8th last season. Pitched well, 8 innings. No walks, 5 strikeouts.
Rosales, nice play, but not quite in time as the speedy Ben Revere beat it out. Just chopped right over the mound. So leadoff single for the time weather tonight, brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's 64 degrees. A little bit cooler. It was a little cooler last night. In fact, it got cooled off quite a bit as the game went on, and it looks like it may be that way tonight as well. So Ben Revere on first. So Brett Anderson immediately into the stretch to face Darren Mastroianni, who takes a strike. Big night last night for the right fielder for the Twins. A couple of hits, a couple of runs, a couple of RBIs.
And I think as he saw last night, they got on the board early. 4 runs the first 2 innings. The A's could not catch up after that point.
Revere with a decent lead, not going anywhere. Foul back. Both these guys are pretty good base stealers. Revere at the top, and then Mastroianni. They kind of did their thing last night. Each of them had 2 hits. We'll give you the full Twins lineup in just a moment. Third in the American League in steals is Revere, just 1 ahead of Coco Crisp.
Well, a good base runner wants to see the move of a left-handed pitcher, and Anderson threw over, so Revere's got an idea. Although a very good move because he was going back to first base. As we have noted many times, the left-handed pitcher, the front foot, the right foot in this case, as long as it does not pass pitching slab back towards second base, Brett Anderson could go to first or home, and that will fool a runner more than anything.
Line foul, and a nice play by a fan. With A's jersey and cap on, he's got the glove. He reached out and he made the play, and he gave it to the youngster. He's got 2.
He said, "I got 1. It's autographed and everything. I don't need another."
He may have been here for batting practice.
But every one of those baseballs has one signature that will always be there.
Yep.
It's Alan Bud Selig, Commissioner of Baseball, on every baseball used in American National League.
Swing and a miss. So Brett Anderson gets Mastroianni, so his first strikeout. So here's the rest of the Twins lineup. After Revere and Mastroianni, it's Mauer, Willingham, Morneau, Doman, Plouffe, Carroll, and Florimon.
Brett Anderson, well documented, but look at him. I mean, we can go back to prior to going on the disabled list. He has lost about 25 pounds. Look at his season last year. It was cut short. 13 starts, 3-6 record. June 5th, his last start. And then Tommy John surgery and rehab, tough time. Andrew Kerrigan going through the same thing right now as we speak, and he's had the surgery, doing all he can to stay in shape, but it's going to be a long process for Brett Anderson, about 14 months.
First pitch to Joe Mauer is a bit inside.
Pitching coach Kurt Young said around 100 pitches, so it's not really 60, 70, 80. It built up his arm strength at the minor league level with a 30-day rehab assignment to get it up to at least about 100 pitches.
Runner goes, pitches inside to throw a one-hopper to Drew late, and Revere has a stolen base. So Ben Revere gets his 29th steal, so he's in scoring position.
See that great shot of Brett Anderson. Looked to first base, but typically a left-hander will look at first and throw home and vice versa. So if he looks to first and throws over, he's going to pick him off. But Revere went on that first move, stole it easily.
2-0 to Mauer with Willingham in the on-deck circle. And there's a strike on the outside corner. 92 miles an hour with that fastball.
There's the right-hander, then Justin Morneau right behind him. But Brett Anderson, throughout his time with the Athletics, he's had really more problems with left-handed hitters than he has right-handers because of the hard breaking ball.
Tapped slowly toward Drew. Flips it across. Mauer's retired. Going to third is Revere. So Stephen Drew gets his first action. Here's the A's defense tonight. Cespedes, Crisp, Reddick outfield. Donaldson, Drew, Rosales, Carter infield with Norris behind the plate.
Josh Willingham.
Stephen Drew with the ball hit by Joe Mauer. Smart play because he had the runner running in front of him, but the speed of Revere and the fact that the out recorded at first was the second out. So get the tough Josh Willingham and back to the dugout.
That big curveball from Anderson.
And
steals a strike.
And that's what makes him probably a better pitcher against right-handers. The slower curve, back door, hard slider down and in. Good fastball. But let's hope as time goes, and he's faced two lefties already, and Revere and Mauer, that will work well for him also against the lefties. Slider primarily is the pitch that he goes with a breaking ball. Curveball 8%, 7% change ups, and this was prior to, of course, throughout his major league career. It's been a good one.
Well, when he was pitched great, when he struggled, we always said he throws a lot of sliders. And it's a great pitch.
And he may throw one right here to Josh Willingham. A hard slider down and in. Try to get a hitter swing over.
That one is rolled foul to the end of the Athletics dugout. So the count remains 1-2.
There have been some great left-handed pitchers that just come to mind that have had the hard slider that is devastating on right-handed hitters. I think of Sam McDowell, who I was fortunate to catch many years ago, and then Randy Johnson, hard slider. Steve Carlton, the Phillies, nasty down and in.
And that one past Norris, and the Twins are going to get on the board.
And that's one of the problems with the hard slider right there.
So Revere scoots home. The stolen base certainly helped in this inning. It's a wild pitch. The Twins have a 1-0 lead.
Well, the hard slider catcher is going to have his work cut out for him, and ball hit off the catcher's mitt of Derek Norris. And once he got past him, didn't have to go too far for Revere to score. So infield hit, stolen base to third on an infield ground out, and a wild pitch. Ball has not left the infield against Brett Anderson.
And that one hit up the middle, and that's going to get through into center field for a base hit. So Willingham continues to hurt the Athletics. He is now 13 for 28
Batting
in the 8 games played between these two teams.
First baseman, number 33, Justin Morneau.
The slider in Exmo will show the ball hit in the dirt. Derek Norris going down with his catcher's mitt, tried to bring the right hand around and ideally to try to move the body in front of the pitch and use the body to block, avoid having it hit the catcher's mitt, because that's probably the hardest part of your equipment, catcher's mitt and chest protector. You were going to say about Exmo?
I can tell you it's brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. We love Exmo. It's one of our favorites.
Well, I would think a player in today's world, seeing Exmo, can go down, say Adam Roden
let's go. Show me the swing, the pitch, blocking ball in dirt, feeling ground ball. Everything can be done in Exmo where you can break it down almost frame by frame and watch and learn from something like that.
Willingham takes off. The throw to second base is in time. So Willingham is out. Side retired. A run on a couple of hits for the Twins. They lead 1-0 after half an inning. Bottom of the first, and here's the A's lineup. Crisp, Drew, Reddick, Cespedes, Carter, Smith. Smith is back. Donaldson, Norris, and Rosales.
Third start for Cole DeVries against the Athletics. Both of them coming at Target Field. He is 0-1. Actually walked 5 batters in his first start. Not one scored. That was no decision. The Twins winning 3-2. One of their comebacks. But the next time, when the A's went back, they beat him 9-3.
And that one slooped into right center field, and Coco Crisp does not wait around. He's got a leadoff single. So Crisp aboard for Stephen Drew. Let's take a quick look at the defense for Willingham, Revere, Mastroianni in the outfield, Plouffe, Florimone, Carroll, Morneau on the infield. Ryan Dolan is doing the catching tonight. So here is Stephen Drew. So his first at bat as an Athletic.
Gee, he has Chip Hale's number.
Yeah.
Chipper wearing number 8. And of course, they go back to the days in the Diamondbacks organization, Chip Hale and Stephen Drew. So I said, Chip, what did you get? He said, didn't expect anything, didn't want anything. If you're a coach, you normally don't get anything.
First pitch to Drew is in the dirt.
But one thing Chip Hale said, and said throughout the time that they were together, Stephen Drew, of course, the Arizona Diamondbacks colors, the same that Chip Hale's son will be using in college. So he said, just bring all your batting gloves so I can send them to my son. And he said he did it anyway. He was going to do it, but that was the exchange for the number 5. But typically coaches don't have much say in the numbers. I think Mike Gallego's on about his 4th number since he's been here.
2-0 to Drew. Gotta have your own bats as well.
Absolutely.
There they are. Diamondbacks logo.
Got red pine tar in Arizona. That's amazing. The logo, that says it all. Yeah, the bats usually go with a position player. It's part of it.
Pitch is high. So 3-0.
Freeze must be thinking, or just wanted to make a throw to first base. 3-0. Not often that a runner will run on 3-0, but we have seen it.
He has a good lead.
Yeah.
And he might have been going.
Yeah.
He took a step, made it a close play on the pickoff from Cole DeFries.
You know, usually if the guy does run 3-0, and he was moving and inching off and maybe indicating he was going to run, but I mean, there's no way he can pitch out, so he has to throw a strike. Otherwise, he's going to be able to walk into second regardless.
And there's a strike. It didn't have to be, but it's 3-1.
See, the thing is, on 3-0, maybe a pitcher doesn't pay attention to the runner at first, but he's usually going to throw a strike. He's going to make it a pretty good pitch for a catcher to throw, but it's usually the element of surprise if the runner does go on 3-0.
Coco not running, and that one fouled. Lower level, up behind the A's dugout. So a full count, pretty good chance Coco will be running here. So Stephen Drew was July 20th of last year when he had that terrible ankle injury. Remember, he slid into home plate, and I remember seeing it on TV, and it was not good. It was one of those where you kind of want to look away. It was his right ankle. So that's what kept him out all last year and a good portion of this year. It's a very serious injury.
So really you have Brett Anderson off the disabled list, Tommy John surgery, and the serious injury to Drew, and see how many games he missed the last couple of seasons. So a couple of new players for the A's, and good to have them both on the club.
Coco not running, and this one's lifted, foul territory. Plouffe, the third baseman, is under it, and he makes the catch. So Stephen Drew in his first at bat, the Coliseum got it. That's not fair. It's just not fair.
Well, DeVries also quick pitched on the 3-2, maybe thinking Coco was going to be running. He was not, and maybe that affected Drew and not able to get a very good swing on the 3-2.
So here's Reddick with one out. First pitch to Reddick, swing and a miss. Reddick hitting .248 with 25 home runs and 62 runs batted in. 9th in the American League in extra base hits. Tied for 10th in home runs. 7th in the league in strikeouts. Trying to get rolling. A little bit of a slump right now for Reddick.
Yeah, still carrying around an ice bag for his tooth, and it's
can't help.
It cannot help, and it's it's affecting his sleep and trying to get his proper rest. And kind of feel badly for him because such a good and determined player. Sometimes fighting what you have to do just to get ready to play is very hard.
Well, if you think about this time of year, I mean, guys are probably a little tired anyways this time of year, and then if you have kind of a strange injury like he has where it may affect your sleep.
In a time when you really need your rest, you can't sleep.
So 1-2. Gets in that sprinter stance where he actually looks like he turns his body just a little bit towards second base.
Yeah. Just wants some starting blocks for him to take off in a sprint. Trying to figure out the move from DeVries and the time that he's releasing the ball.
Reddick hits one high down the right field line into the corner. Foul. Plenty of distance. But Reddick looked like he had a pretty good idea it was going to go foul. He stayed right near home plate. And he and the umpire have the best view.
Well, he might have been standing there just hoping, because it's a great swing on a curveball, which we have seen many times. Pitcher's made a mistake with the curveball down with a couple of strikes, and he has hammered it, and just that time a little bit too quick.
So another 1-2 to Reddick. He shoots one toward left field, hit pretty well, but Willingham's going to get back there. About a step and a half from the warning track. He's got it, gets it back in quickly, so that's out number 2.
Don't you think the odds were pretty sure that it was going to be a fastball after hanging a curveball and almost hit for a 2-run home run? And at least the location for DeVries was good when he stayed away from the fastball.
So DeVries will face Cespedes. I don't know if you mentioned this, Ray, but DeVries pitched well against the A's early in the season, not well the last time he saw him. That was the game he gave up 3 home runs to the Athletics.
The first start that he made against the A's, what was his second major league start?
Second,
maybe the first at home, and after the game, it's a comeback. He got a no decision, but had all the group down by the dugout signing autographs.
Overhand curve. So Cespedes, one of the 3 home runs hit off him in July.
That was the right field. That's the one that he had to be thinking. Nobody goes that way from the right side. Pitch him away, and that's the old tip your hat.
Pitches outside. DeVries from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is just outside of Minneapolis, and he went to the University of Minnesota, so he should be playing for the Twins. There's the 2 starts. That first one, 5 walks, just 1 strikeout, but when he left the game, it was a 0-0 score. 3-0 now to Cespedes. Cespedes taking all the way inside, and he walked it.
Well, the first inning of the same game you talked about, Chris Carter, fastball inside, fastball gone. Left center, and the A's had an early 4-0 lead. And Chris Carter would love nothing better than to do it again tonight. A little bit different conditions here tonight, but still strong enough to hit one into the left field seats.
So Carter with a chance to hit the A's on the board here in the bottom of the first inning, hitting .272 with 10 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Fastball for a strike right around the belt. Great speed on the bases for the A's. Changeup. That is a pitch that he likes to throw.
Right over the top.
That was not a changeup. Breaking.
Still off speed. Definitely had Chris Carter fooled.
Same pitch, and this one is outside. So that curveball looks a little bit like A.J. Griffin's curveball.
Right.
A big break, but yet a sharp break. Carter just got underneath it. Pops it behind third. Plouffe, the third baseman, has it. Side retired. A's get a hit and a walk. They strand to 1-0 Twins after 1. Second inning, Brett Anderson back to work. He threw 21 pitches in the first inning. Gave up a run scored on a wild pitch. Going to face Morneau, Domit, and Plouffe. Good curveball first strike.
Cap, you're right about the left-handers. If he throws the curveball and the slider effectively to the left-handers, that will really help him and have better success. There's a hard slider that one is easier to pick up. The curveball that starts at the left-handed hitter is a little bit more difficult. But 4 quality pitches from the left-hander.
Pitch there, 1-2.
He likes to work quickly and usually goes with the catcher, and all the more reason as Derek Norris continues to study and learn the art of calling a game, which is a little bit more difficult at this level. Something that pitchers rely on their catchers more times than not, and that's why the preparation is important.
That curveball that Morneau reaches for. 16 home runs, 59 RBIs for the Twins first baseman, a .275 average. Chop slowly toward Rosales. He's got it. So that's out number 1. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by the Oakland Raiders. Season tickets are still available. Call 1-800-RAIDERS today. So here's Ryan Domit. First pitch strike to Domit. Domit is catching. Right. Sees a fair amount of time behind home plate. Joe Mauer, the DH.
He will be in the lineup every day, just a matter of where he's going to play.
Donaldson throws quickly in time to get Domit, and that's out number 2. So that'll bring up Trevor Plouffe.
Domit showing off his speed for a pretty good sized guy. He got out of the box quickly, and time you see a hitter follow through like that, he's out of the box quickly, and as a result makes it a close play.
If nothing else, makes the infielder rush himself a little bit. Plouffe, 19 home runs, 40 RBIs. First pitch strike. 1 for 4 last night for Plouffe. He had an RBI. Soft line drive into the glove of Adam Rosales, side retired. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Brett Anderson. 1-0 Twins after an inning and a half. Athletics brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Provident Credit Union's Super Reward Checking is better than free. They pay you. Twins with a 1-0 lead over the Athletics. They're getting along, and that's good. Kirby Puckett jersey. Remember when so many teams wore the powder blue road uniforms? Twins were one of them.
And none bigger and better than the Kirby Puckett number 34.
That's right.
Trotting around the bases, running out to center field.
Seth Smith, good to see him back in the lineup.
Against a guy he crushed one in Minneapolis at Target Field. Hamstrings are tough to get well to be able to come back and play, but Seth Smith back after a short amount of time. Good to see his bat back in there. It's not even Hyundai Sunday. It's his specialty, and just nominated him for the award. The best Hyundai Sunday player for the A's.
Well, Smith had just one game in his rehab. He said, that's good.
Yeah.
Played last night, a couple of hits for AAA Sacramento and back in the big leagues. So it's good to have Seth Smith back, veteran hitter for the stretch run. Donaldson will be next, and then Norris here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 pitch from DeFries is a strike.
It's a good point about the stretch run for Seth Smith, getting him back. And remember, in 07, when the Rockies had their phenomenal run, it was not because of Seth Smith coming off the bench pinch hitting for the Rockies, taking all the way to the World Series. Still trying to get acclimated to the DH role in the American League, which he is the DH tonight. National League, of course, just playing in the outfield, sometimes preferential, but Bob Melvin knows both, having managed in Arizona, the National League, as well as Seattle, and now with the green and gold.
The 3-2 pitch is low, and it's a leadoff walk.
Bank of America, with the support of Clorox and the Oakland Zoo, gives Missouri children the chance to come out to select A's games and receive a free A's souvenir with the Little A's program. For more information, call 510-563-2329 or visit the community page at oaklandathletics.com. Little A's. It's good. I wish I could have been a little A when I was growing up. I was a little Cardinal.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that was Stan Musial. That was my favorite. But to be able to be a part of a program like that and get a souvenir and come to games, maybe get an autograph.
I want to see a picture of you like a little. Come on. We got pictures of you from the 60s where you are the grooviest, coolest guy ever, ever to wear a sweet-looking sweater in Tucson, Arizona.
Alpacas, man.
Yeah.
This is big. Rocky Colavito showed me the way.
He did. He
Rocky
did good.
Colavito.
As the song says, you wear it well. I would pay money to find a Little League picture of Ray Fosse.
Don't say it with these
Your
games
family,
traveling across the
right,
country. And somebody's going to hear it.
Family's listening. One and two to Donaldson. So the A's got their leadoff man aboard in the first. Could not get him home. Do the same thing here in the second with Smith. Norris waiting in the on-deck circle. Now timeout is called.
Josh Donaldson has hit enough balls to right field that the Twins are playing him that direction with Revere in right center and Asciani in right field, really playing him like a left-handed pull hitter, but shallow.
Foul to the right side. Well, Mike Gallego going through a bunch of signs. Come on, Stags. Ah.
Can't leave his post.
Oh, that's a good
He's
camera.
going to try.
There's a shot left field. Going back is Willingham. And he's going to play it off the wall. And heading for third is Smith. They're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. There is no throw. And Seth Smith scores. So Donaldson with an RBI double. And we're tied at 1.
Well, they played him to right field, but very quick bat on a pitch down and in. And Seth Smith, what if he was yelling to Mike Gallego? Bad hammy. He sent it in, but watch the hips and great swing by Josh Donaldson on the fastball down. The key here, this ball hits the wall, pops straight up. And as a result, Josh Willingham had to go get it. And with the shortstop going out, Seth Smith thinking, I'm going to probably be shut down at third. And here it comes, see him kicking in gear. And he's running under control, I think we could say. But nice swing and a big RBI for Josh Donaldson.
Well, still nobody out, and Norris steps in. You just should know that's going to happen. Right?
Absolutely. Stephen Drew looking at him and smiling and saying, okay, Mike Gallego, that's a hint right there. If that's close, I better run hard because he's going to send me. Seth Smith might be happy he's DHing tonight. He gets to recuperate for a few batters.
Curveball popped up. Kloof into foul territory in front of the A's dugout. He's got it. So Norris is retired on the foul ball. Well, how did the Petaluma Little Leaguers do today? They won 5-0, so they are now 3-1 in the double elimination tournament, and they will play again on Thursday, so they get a day off. So they won their first game, lost their second game, and then won games 3 and 4.
Watching some of the Little Leaguers from Petaluma being introduced, and sure enough, the name Johnny Gomes, favorite player.
Oh, it should.
And mentioned, and the guys were in the clubhouse watching and cheering as the Petaluma National Little League team played well. Johnny had his Petaluma jersey on and his West cap, all gold. Cap, we were talking last night, the team photo was taken today, and yes, they took photographs, the players, in the alternate gold jersey. Staff all white, so jersey prominently displayed on the team photo from 2012.
I like it. Want to know the count to Rosales. Outside, 2-0. DeFries, not real sharp with his control. He walked Smith. Smith has scored. He walked the guy in the first inning. And DeFries not a real hard thrower. I don't think he's going to overpower anybody, so he probably needs to have that real good control.
Great point. His fastball tops out about 90, so not the really blazing fastball we've seen. Location is key, and that was a good pitch to him.
Morneau coming down the line, and he's got it. So let's see how the team photo shoot went today.
Oh, look at that. Is that styling? You got the coaching staff in white down on the front.
I like it.
You got the gold jerseys of the players and the staff in the green tops. See the picture of the back of those guys? They weren't even here from last year, so gold jersey brought out with the fans as well.
So Coco Crisp had a base hit to lead the game off, or lead the bottom of the first off.
Cespedes jersey, 52, and might be wearing that for a few years in the green and gold, or the gold anyway.
Donaldson still at second. He doubled home a run. now it's 1-1.
It had leadoff walk and a double. And for a team playing well in August, September, two of the most important months, and of course October, you want to get there. But the little things that have to be done, you get a double leading off an inning or no outs with a double, got to get him to third base. And I know Derek Norris was trying, but ended up popping up foul. But those are big runs that you can score early in the game with a little fundamental baseball. Then you start looking for 2-out hits to score the run that maybe should have already been at third.
Gilchrist was 0 for 4 last night. He did score a run. Outfield playing very shallow, so they'd like to have a shot at throwing out Donaldson.
DeVries could care less about Donaldson at second. He knows the infielders are not playing close, trying to hold him on. He's not even looking back to second. Unlike Gavin Floyd, he does not have the peripheral vision to be able to roll his eyes and look back at him, but he's just getting the sign. Doesn't even know Donaldson's back there.
That one just a touch outside and a full count.
And the Tommy Cam and a pitch just off the plate. Dolmet bringing it back in, but that doesn't work. The umpires call the pitch when it crosses the plate, not where the catcher brings it back into the strike zone.
3-2 pitch is bounced toward Morneau. Fair ball. Steps on the bag. Side retired. He's going to run a walk and a double. So Donaldson gets the RBI, and we're tied at 1. Looking at Brett Anderson's 3 major league seasons, of course, all with the Athletics. Strikeouts per 9 innings, home runs per 9 innings, and ground ball percentage.
That's a lot of numbers.
Tonight, Anderson put up a couple hits in the run. He struck out 1. But his stuff looks pretty sharp. That's a good sign.
Fastball 91-92 and mixing curveballs. He's thrown changeups and sliders. He's thrown all 4 pitches, and I think the crispness of his fastball and location has been excellent.
Charging is Drew. Throws on the run. Jamie Carroll is retired. So Stephen Drew's fielded a couple ground balls tonight.
See where Adam Rosales was? He can't stand still. Adam Rosales playing second, backed up first base, as Drew at shortstop made the play. And he's just now getting back to the second base position. Had some hustle, but not surprising for Adam Rosales.
Well, and if you back up like he's doing here at the Coliseum,
That's it. Yeah.
that's a lot of backing up.
But it's important because it's hard for the catcher to get down. And so if Rosales comes around the backside and it's an overthrow, he might keep him just at second base instead of having the runner typically go all the way to third.
Well, don't they say, Ray, if you're a position player and the ball's not hit to you, do something. Back something up, right? I mean, there's things you can do.
I think that came up with Derek Jeter against the A's back in the
We know what happened there.
Excellent pitch, the down and in. Watch this breaking ball. There's the more of a curveball,
Number 11.
a big looping curveball. In
Rosier.
Expo, you can see Brett Anderson coming with the pitch and swing on the miss. Foreman kept him off the bases tonight so far. But you know, that's a good point because just standing around watching, that doesn't help anything. And if you can move and you have the energy, especially that Adam Rosales has. And see, Adam Rosales, after what happened last night, he's happy to be here.
Yep.
Because, you know, he's the on-deck circle. I asked him, I said, how did it feel? He said, I thought they were announcing a pinch hitter for me.
Stephen Drew's
Yeah.
pinch hitting for
He said
Adam
he's
Rosales.
already here. But, yeah, it had to be a tough night. I don't know when Jamal Weeks found out. He was at the park today and actually left while the guys were here for getting ready for stretching and batting practice. Yeah.
Anderson, a little late getting over. Didn't have to, though, as Carter takes it himself. So a 3-up, 3-down inning, 6 in a row retired by Brett Anderson. Our McDonald's True Stories. Some of the goodies on Stephen Drew. Born in Georgia, 29 years old. He was the first-round pick of the Diamondbacks from Florida State. Of course, is the younger brother of J.D. Drew. Also, Tim Drew. Pitcher for 5 Major League seasons, so the youngest of 3. Stephen Drew. His name was attached to the A's fair amount as the trade deadline drew close. Of course, it was all rumors. You don't know how much is true or not, but obviously the A's did have their eye on him if they acquired him a couple weeks later.
I think the biggest thing for Stephen Drew is getting back and playing after being on the disabled list for so long, and he's had scouts watching him to make sure that he was healthy, and They know the track record, what he's capable of doing, what he has done at the major league level. And I'm sure drawing on that experience and numbers, because he didn't have the numbers in the short amount of time he was playing coming off the DL.
He has a $10 million mutual option for next year. Mutual option meaning he would have to say, yeah, I want to come back. And the A's would have to say, yes, we want you back. So they would both have to agree to it. If that happens, then Stephen Drew would be an Athletic in 2013. But a little bit too early to really think about that. We'll see how he plays for the final 40 games or so. 3-2 pitch is hit high. Left field, Willingham doesn't see it. Now it looks like he finds it, and he does. But initially off the bat, he put his hands up a little bit. He could not find it. It is kind of that time of night, not quite full darkness just yet. So one out here in the bottom of the third. Reddick steps in. Reddick checks his swing. Pitch was down and in. Reddick hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. .50 pitches for DeFries. He's thrown a lot of pitches so far in this game.
Stephen Drew has made out twice. He's also seen 12 pitches in 2 at bats, so he's gone to 3-2. It's been a night where he's throwing a lot of pitches, and some of them not close or close enough that they're not being called strikes.
So now 3-1. So Reddick in the driver's seat. Fastball that's high. So Reddick with the walk. That's the 3rd walk issued by DeFries. He's walked 1 in each inning.
As I mentioned, his first start back at Target Field against the A's. Back in May, he walked 5 and not 1 scored, and that's not what you want to do, is allow a pitcher to walk that many batters and get away with it.
Well, the A's have made him pay already in the 2nd inning. Smith had the leadoff one. Here's Cespedes. He walked in the 1st inning. Curveball for a strike. I think DeFries has done this year. Of course, we talked about the home runs he's given up against the A's. He's given up home runs to everybody. 16 home runs he's allowed in what is now 66 innings. That's a lot.
Especially pitching at Target Field.
That's a lot.
Considering the ball normally does not carry that well. The A's made the park very small when they went back in July.
Inside, 2-1. So the A's, who the last couple months have been hitting lots of home runs. So that could be something that falls in their favor as the game goes on. Big swing and a miss. 2-2.
Cap, we talked about it, and talking to the skipper today, and he was saying also about home runs, and that's one that a lot of times going to be crushed for a home run by Cespedes. But the skipper talked about, sure, home runs are great, But he said the important thing is to be able to manufacture runs. He said because the deeper you go into the season, if you make it to postseason, it's going to be harder to really pound on clubs and hit them hard and hit a lot of home runs. And that is the mentality of a manager trying to direct and guide his ball club to play the game, steal bases, sacrifice, do the things to manufacture runs. If you get the big home run, that's a bonus. You're going to manufacture more and score that way as opposed to sitting back and waiting for the long ball.
Two and two to Cespedes. So I guess you can try to manufacture runs. You can't try to manufacture home runs, right?
Right. I mean, you can hit a mistake.
They're going to happen, yeah.
And very rarely, and there have been some great home run hitters who have gone to the plate and said, I'm going to hit a home run. And they're lucky enough to do it, or fortunate to be that good to do it. But more home runs they hit are mistakes.
Runner goes, 3-2, 1 out, and it's foul back. So Reddick will head back to first.
And I think, everything's a numbers game today. And we've talked about the number of an everyday player, number of times he goes to the plate, and 25. Josh Reddick, having a phenomenal season, 25 home runs. What's he doing the other?
That's right.
400 or 500 plate appearances and walks and doing the little things to drive in runs to get on base. Those are the important ones. And what Cespedes does in running, hustling on ground balls, that's unbelievable.
This one's hit to center. Going back is Ben Revere, and he's got it. And Reddick took a couple steps towards second after tagging up, but he stays in first.
When you're away from the Bay Area and can't watch the A's on Comcast Sportsnet, take your team with you with MLB.tv. Subscribe today to see every A's out-of-market game live online in HD quality. Features include choice of home and away broadcast, multi-game viewing, and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Ball off the end of the bat from Cespedes. Otherwise, it might have been up about the second level suites.
There's Carter, who takes a strike.
Big swing, but a little bit towards the end of the bat and just got it up too much. Didn't really drive it, and Freese got away with one. He's just missed it. Reddick thought about tagging, but no chance.
Well, he may have got away with a couple of them in that at-bat. Cespedes had a couple pitches to hit. Curveball, foul back.
I think we've been very impressed with the play of Cespedes. First year at the major league level, major league professional baseball, the hustle, his ability to run and use all 5 tools. And Ariel Prieto guiding him along and showing the importance of playing the game the right way, hustling all the time, and it's been very impressive.
In the dirt. Carter popped out to third to end the first inning. He did that with a couple of runners on. .65 pitches for Cole DeFries. Runner goes, and it's rolled foul. So whatever happens in this game, the A's have made DeFries work. And I don't think he's got a CG in his future tonight.
No. But Josh Reddick paid attention and realized DeFries really wasn't paying that much attention to him and took off. And if Carter had not swung on a pretty good pitch to hit, Reddick would have had second stolen easily. Times that pitchers are so concerned about the pitches to the plate they forget about base runners. And that's when a guy can take advantage of not paying attention.
2-2 to Carter. Another long at bat by an Athletic. Reddick has showed this year that He can steal a base. He's 10 for 10. Now, I don't know that he's necessarily going to do it here, but 10 for 10 says that he can do it. That one hit to third. Poof, across the diamond side, retired. Reddick walks. He is stranded. So we are on to the fourth inning. It's a 1-1 game.
$12 postseason rights. Just place a deposit on a 2013 A's ticket plan. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to oaklandathletics.com/deposit.
Mastroianni to lead it off. Swings at the first pitch. Grounds it to Stephen Drew. Takes care of the first hitter. So that's out number one here in the top of the fourth. Here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Boss Man from Oakdale asks, hey Ray, how easy was it to fit in to a new clubhouse when you were traded or newly signed to a team? It's a good question.
Yeah.
So you were traded from the Indians to the Athletics late in spring training. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So that's a tough time to join a new team.
How about a world championship team?
Who is this guy, this Fosse guy? I've heard of him.
No, that was it was a blessing in disguise, which didn't want to be traded, didn't expect to be traded, but to be able to join a team of players that I admired as a team winning a championship, had played against them when I was with Cleveland a couple of seasons. So to be acquired by them and to have Dick Williams, the manager of the '72 World Championship team, simply say, Ray, handle the pitching staff. The job is to do that, and we don't give extra outs, and we have pitching and defense, which is what it's all about.
Harder, just backhand short hop. But so was there players on the A's that you knew?
Sal Bando,
okay.
Tennis. I mean, the guys. I mean, Sal especially, and
so how did you know them guys?
Just being around and functions, maybe in the off season, not a lot, but just friendships that turned out to be great because being traded to the ball club. And the thing about, and it's the same with the A's getting Stephen Drew. If you're traded to, or you're a player that goes to a team that's trying to win, they're going to welcome you in with open arms. And Stephen Drew and Brandon Inge said it. It's great. Hated to see Jamal Weeks go down, but bottom line, they want to win. If Stephen Drew helps them do that, and that's the feeling I got when I got traded and fit perfectly into a clubhouse that, even though they were already world champions, it was joining a club that was relying on pitching and defense, and fortunately I was able to catch some great pitchers. But I think with so many teams and you have interleague play. Players know each other, so if a player changes teams, I think it's a smooth transition, stepping right in. Maybe Brandon's following Drew on his Twitter account.
But then you went back to Cleveland after your 3 years with the A's. Still players that were with the Indians for the first time you were there? Probably not a lot, though.
Not a lot, but this kid named Dwayne Kuiper was there. You know, that was fun. No, it was nice going back.
But different, I would imagine.
Very different. And the difference there, leaving Cleveland, the team that was not going to be successful, coming to a team that won a couple world championships, and then going back to a similar situation in Cleveland. That was probably the hardest part.
Good pitch by Brett Anderson. He gets the strikeout. His third strikeout, and he has retired 9 in a row. The 2 pitchers in Oakland A's history to lead American League rookies in strikeouts for a season. Give you the answer in just a little bit.
Number 15, Seth Smith.
So Seth Smith to lead it off. Bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 1-1 game. Twins scored their run in the first. A's scored their run in the second. Will DeFries is worked in and out of jams. That was pitch number 69 for him. He's allowed 2 hits. He's walked 3. Has not struck anybody out.
Rick Anderson, Ron Gardenhire, pitching coach or manager, probably looking at the pitch count as we are and saying, who gets up first?
Which is not what you want to do in the 4th inning.
No, it's going to happen. So Brandon McCarthy last night, his pitch count elevated quickly, and he did not last long in the game. Travis Blackley did a phenomenal job.
So it bounced into right field. Carroll Dope could not come up with it. And for the 3rd time in 4 innings, the A's had their leadoff man aboard.
And see, Kuiper, if you're coming off of an injury, it's a hamstring, leg injury, the one thing you want to do is be on the bases every at bat.
That's right. Keep it coming.
And at first base, and Seth Smith is there again after a leadoff walk in a second, came around to score all the way from first on the double, and he's at first again.
So hit number 3 for the Athletics, and here's Donaldson. Donaldson is a hot hitter. He's got 9 hits in his last 18 at bats, so he's like it when Donaldson steps in the batter's box right now.
It's amazing what a new haircut will do. feeling so confident with their new style.
Pitch is outside, 1-1 to Donaldson.
And I think when you come back to big leagues, as Josh Donaldson said, you concentrate on defense. It makes your offense, that side of the plate, that much better.
Curveball, outside corner strike. Donaldson's probably better off not swinging at that because he's not going to do a whole lot with it.
Unless he stays inside and shoots it to right field, but he was looking fastball as he probably was in his first at bat. Fastball down and in, just reacted and almost hit it out.
1-2 pitch lays off that breaking ball. Those games are starting to go final now of teams that are keeping a close eye on. Strike 3 call. Donaldson thought it was high, and he's chatting with Dan Bellino.
That's horrible. Boy, you have a good eye and it hurts you.
Now batting,
it's
the
not even
catcher,
close.
number 36.
Doman had to reach up, and it's almost as if he waited for Doman to bring the ball down, even brought it down to Beltine and he called it a strike. And I don't blame you one bit, Josh.
So that's out number 1. That's the first strikeout for DeFries.
Wouldn't you count it?
No, I don't want to either.
Donaldson took a breaking pitch in the dirt or down low, and then it elevated, went up high with a fastball. Very patient, took that, and then ring him up. See, Brett Anderson likes to pitch down in the strike zone, or down in the zone, generally speaking, and it's not that often that you can get away with a high fastball or a strikeout.
Norris fouled out in the second inning. He fouled out with a runner at second and nobody out. That pitch inside corner for a strike to even the count at 1-1. The Royals beat the Rays tonight 1-0. They beat David Price. Not easy to do. The Tigers beat the Blue Jays 5-3. These are all these teams that are in that wild card with the Athletics. The Angels beat the Red Sox 5-3. And Baltimore just finished off Texas 5-3. So a big win for the Orioles.
In Texas, too. That is big.
Never easy to do. So the Rays lose, the Orioles win, the Tigers win, the Angels win. Rays, the top wild card team, the team to lose in that wild card mix. 1-2 pitch, pop foul. So these are updated standings now with those scores that I just gave you. So the A's are now 1 back of the Orioles. Tigers with their win. So right now they pick up a half game on the Athletics, move a little bit closer to the second wild card team, the Orioles, but still very tight. Did I see Seattle's name on there? What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Mariners are playing terrific baseball. Willingham, a long run, and he's going to get there right near home plate of the bullpen. So a nice running catch by Willingham. So that's out number 2. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by IndyCar Racing in Sonoma. The Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma returns this weekend, August 24th through the 26th. Tickets, call 1-800-870-RACE.
What is that?
Nachos Grande.
Chef Rodney, where are you when we need you?
Our man. That one's hit to left, but playable for Willingham. So the A's get the leadoff single. Do nothing with it. They strand a runner. So we are on to the 5th. Still tied 1-1. DeFries and Anderson pitching matchup. Folks are trying to get something going. Anderson to face Morneau, Domet, Plouffe. So, Ray, we were talking about the Mariners, who have won 6 in a row. They've won 17 out of their last 23. And they are 59-64.
And to be slashed next to the Boston/Seattle, 8 behind in the wild card. That's unbelievable. So Eric Wedge, and coincidentally, the trade of Ichiro to New York, and they played pretty good baseball.
Yes, they have.
Because tonight it's King Felix pitching.
Pitches high. So the Brett Anderson note of 9 in a row. Retired. Mariners with a 1-0 lead over the Indians, 6th inning. As Ray said, Felix Hernandez, his first start since the perfect game. So probably pretty good atmosphere up at Safeco Field.
4 hits. Oh, Johnny Vandermeer is safe again.
He's going to be safe for a while.
Oh.
There's a base hit by Justin Morneau to lead off the 5th inning. Here's our Ford right choice, July 22nd of this year. Ryan Domet. It's a right-handed home run. And he hits a left-handed home run. Not in that order necessarily. You saw the right-handed go second. Third player in Minnesota Twins history to do it. The other two, Roy Smalley and Chili Davis.
Okay.
Smalley in 1986, Chili in 1992.
Chili did it 11 times in his career. Dan Gladden talking about the great team, 91 team, 87 World Championship, and Dan Gladden talking about being traded from the Giants to the Twins and playing center field with the Giants. He goes to Minnesota, and there's Kirby Puckett. He said, "Okay, left field.
Okay, I'll move."
Yeah.
Turned out pretty good for our good friend Dan Gladden.
Coming up the middle with that line drive base hit, and there's the Puckett jersey. We figured we'd find one, or Tommy Adza would find one sometime tonight. The color blue, number 34.
So 2 on, nobody out here for the Twins. Circle me, Bird. That one bounced. Donaldson has it. Third, second, Yes! Triple play! Triple play for the A's, and that ends the inning.
Oh, man. You see something you haven't seen for a while? How about a triple play? Ground ball to third, step on the back, Josh Donaldson. Watch Rosales at second. Strong throw to first, and they complete around the horn 5-4-3 double play. And Rosales at second base took the hard hit with his strong arm, helped complete an unbelievable turn around the bases. And Brett Anderson said, "Wow, come right back and turn a triple play." How great is that?
8th triple play in Oakland history. Last one was, we've showed the Randy Velarde unassisted triple play quite a few times. That was way back in 2000. So that was fun.
But the one play of, or the play of Adam Rosales, and of course he can play all over, but he is so strong. He stood the ground at second base with a hard slide, but he has a very strong arm. He can throw from third and short, but at second it makes it even better for him to stay in there and complete an unbelievable triple play. And boy, you stand at third as Donaldson, you kind of anticipate. Ball's hit to me, what's going to happen? It's close enough, step on the bag and start the triple play. That was great.
Here's Drew, first pitch strike. And if you're the third baseman, if the ball has you move at all toward third base, then you got a shot.
Exactly.
And you could tell it. Donaldson, to field the ball, had to move toward third, and then things are in motion.
And I want to say, Kipe, and I know it was Minnesota against the Boston Red Sox, but let's take a look again, because there is the movement Kipe talked about, going to the back. High throw, actually, to Rosales. He went up and just kind of stood his ground at second. And Brett Anderson saying, "Man, I'm in trouble. First and second, nobody out, and I'm back in the dugout with a triple play." Great play by Rosales at second.
0-2 pitch to Stephen Drew is low.
But thinking of Gary Gaetti when he played for the Twins, and I want to say the Twins, and just a memory that I have, within a couple of days, triple plays started by Gary Gaetti.
I think you're right.
But it was just one of those freak things. You're very correct when the ball is that close to the bag. The movement, and right there to tag third base. Well, watch Rosie at second base, has to jump up. It avoids the hard slide and really kind of flat-footed. He was able to complete the triple play.
Well, he had to hang in there, obviously.
Oh, yeah. He's not afraid to do that. And to possess the arm, the strength that he has, the hustle.
First pitch to Reddick is a strike. So 5 in a row retired by Cole DeFries. 88 pitches for him. He had a whole bunch of pitches in the first 3 innings. He has settled down a little bit on the pitch count in the last couple innings. So 0-2 the count to Reddick, who has hit a fly ball to left field, and he has walked. Fastball, a little bit in on the hands of Reddick. Had a good swing. A's have had a base runner in every inning, at least one base runner in every inning. So DeFries trying for his first 3 up, 3 down inning. A 1-2 now to Reddick.
Well, you think after turning a triple play, kind of pump up the offense, and DeFries has done his job to get the first 2 outs and 2 strikes on Reddick. I always think a lot of times a defensive play can really excite the offense, do something special, but it's going to take 2 outs if it's going to happen in this inning.
Breaking ball fouled right at the plate. Trickles out in front of the plate. Twins with 4 hits in the game. The A's with 3. There's not been an error in the game. And we've had a triple play. Thank goodness it was turned by the Athletics. Reddick towards shallow center, where Revere is under it. He's got it, and that is the first 3 up, 3 down inning for Cole DeFries. We're on to the 6th inning, still tied at 1. The top of the 6th. He's given up 4 hits through the first 5. He's got 3 strikeouts. He has not walked anybody, and he's looked pretty good. Jamie Carroll to lead it off. He'll be followed by Florimone and then Ben Revere. The White Sox just won again, beating the Yankees 7-3. So that's the 2nd night in a row that the White Sox have beat New York in Chicago. Talked about those big series all around baseball. The Nationals beat the Braves again tonight. Washington 4, Atlanta 1. That is a final. Good curveball, first strike. So the Nationals have a 7-game lead over the Braves in the National League East. Foul. Interesting note from that game, Ray. Steven Strasburg pitched tonight. He was the winning pitcher. He's 15-5, but there was a rain delay. About 40 minutes they played, a couple of innings, rain delay. He went back out.
Wow.
Ended up throwing 6 innings. Of course, we all know the story about innings and the limit, but he threw 6 innings tonight, so he is at 145 innings on the season, and they're talking about somewhere between 160 and 180.
It will keep increasing as it gets closer to the postseason.
So it's been a story that's probably been talked about. I don't want to say too much, but it's been talked about a lot. But anyways, that's where he's at, 145 innings. But he's been pitching great, and the Nationals now again a 7-game lead in the East over the Atlanta Braves. Good curveball, and Carroll strikes out. So strikeout number 4 for Anderson. It's time now for our AT&T Trivia answer. Who are the 2 pitchers in Oakland A's history to lead AL rookies in strikeouts for a season?
Number 25.
Rick Langford
Pedro
in 1977
Morrow.
and Brett Anderson in 2009. Brett Anderson in 2009 was 11-11. He made 30 starts through 175 innings. But then in 2010 is when arm issues started to creep in a little bit.
He just threw his 71st pitch at 92, which is what his first pitch of the game was thrown velocity-wise. And I would have to say Brett Anderson slotted into the 9th start, not just to show if he's okay, but to pitch effectively enough, hopeful that the A's could win. He's done his job tonight. Look at the numbers for Brett in his 3 major league seasons. Very impressive, and boy, tonight he has been really impressive.
And that's impressive right there. Snapping curveball, back-to-back strikeouts. So he's now got 5.
The hard one and a good one. Throwing more of the curveball now and varying the velocity. The slower curve that he started
Number 11.
go along with
Ben Revere.
the first pitch, then struck him out with a harder curveball. So he is changing velocity against the lefties, and or at least the righties in this inning, but also doing it against the lefties.
Here's Ben Revere, who singled and scored in the first, grounded out in the 3rd. Now count even at 1-1. Revere in the first inning scored on a wild pitch.
.21 in the first, but other than that, that's why he's pitching as deep as he is in this game.
Slowly hit. Rosales flips to first just in time, and a nice play by Adam Rosales. 3 up, 3 down inning for Brett Anderson. Bottom of the 6th. We're knotted at 1. it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. The A's can get something going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cold to freeze has settled down as retired 6 in a row. He'll face Cespedes, Carter, and Smith with a pitch count at 93. So the Twins have action in their bullpen. Pitch to Cespedes. He swings wildly at a breaking ball. A walk and a fly ball to center field for Yoenis Cespedes. And that one missed just a touch low. Anthony Swarzak starts to throw.
A's have Neshek, who was a former Twin. Twins have Swarzak.
That's right. A's had their leadoff man out in the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. He scored in the 2nd. Curveball popped up. Ramon, the shortstop, drifting out. He's got it, and that is out number 1. On Sunday, September 2nd, the A's will host their annual Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Field level tickets are available with $5 from each ticket, supporting the American Cancer Society. 10,000 fans will receive an A's pink and white umbrella. The day is presented by Alta Bates, Comerica Bank, the Bay Area News Group, Good Neighbor Pharmacy, State Roofing Systems, Ross Dress for Less, and Nelson Staffing. For more information, go to oaklandathletics.com/BCA. So that's coming up on the 2nd of September. Seems like this season has moved quickly.
Success of a ball club kind of
helps. Yeah,
helps.
Good call.
You know that the Twins 19 under 500 and some struggles, but I think when you are playing for a team, working for a team that's having success and just can't wait to come to the park, you see the fun guys are having, but playing serious baseball and winning, having success, that does make it fly.
Fastball is inside to Carter.
I did talk to Ron Gardenhire. I said, how are the cheeseburgers? He said, oh, one a day. I said, that's it? He said, just one.
It's hard to do. But you like him that much.
That's right.
Could be a double. Right?
Well, I would think
a double cheeseburger.
I would say it's a pretty good chance. Yeah, he said one, but I'd say it's a pretty good chance it's the double.
Nothing wrong with that.
Our kind of guy. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today, as the great Wimpy would say.
Okay. Whatever it takes.
Yeah. God, he's a good man.
3-2 to Carter with Smith in the on-deck circle.
It is a good man because when you're accustomed to having success that the Twins have had under Tom Kelly, Ron Gardenhire, and then you see a team struggle a couple years back to back and kind of get spoiled with the good times, the success. Know that you have a chance to come back and still have that same type of good feeling with a successful club. They'll find a way to do it. They've got the new park with the attendance and the revenue coming in.
Well, the Twins had a stretch where they made the postseason 6 times in 9 years. 6 of 9 came to an end last year, of course, when they had the very difficult season of 99 losses. Strike 3 called, a fastball, well placed, and that is strikeout number 3 for DeFries.
Chris Carter 0 for 3.
He started, could not pull the trigger, and maybe he thought in this kind of a half swing. And it's tough, 3-2, 2 strikes especially. Look for anything. You'd like to think maybe fastball, make an adjustment, but that would look like a pretty good pitch to hit. So Dunsing last night and DeVries tonight, both who had trouble in Minneapolis against the A's, and turned it around tonight. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, that is no fun if you're Josh Reddick. That's not the way it's supposed to be, where you have to ice your face in between innings. Smith had a good rip at it, fouled it back.
No, but he's able to have the sunflower seeds on the left side. I mean, he's smart enough to know that he can only have sunflower seeds on one side.
Yeah, that's you don't want one sneaking over to the wrong side.
And that's what upset him initially. You guys like sunflower seeds, which you'd rather have that than some of the other stuff. But he said it really upset me that tooth are missing. I couldn't have the sunflower seeds. But looks like he's able to put the ice on the side of the face and sunflower seeds on the other.
0-2 pitches, line to right, and that's a base hit. So Seth Smith, back from the disabled list, has been on base 3 times, 2 singles and a walk.
Well, when he went to his one rehab assignment, one game, and he said, "I'm ready," well, he's right. He was ready, and maybe kind of some time off. Don't like to get it with a hamstring injury, in this case for Smith, but take a few days off, a couple of weeks off, come back, and it's like kind of a vacation, an extended vacation in the middle of the season.
Here's Donaldson. And high strike call. The high strike that Donaldson got called out on in the 4th inning. He did not agree with the call. Indians and the Mariners tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th in Seattle. That one lined off the glove of Plouffe, picked up by Florimo, but he's got no place to go with it. And it's going to be a base hit for Donaldson, his second. So a 2-out rally for the Athletics.
Josh Donaldson started the swing looking fastball and then kept the bat back with a pitch away from him and really extended, and we probably would say should have caught it. And off the tip of the glove. It's going to be a base hit to left field anyway. No extra bases, but a ball that Plouffe almost caught to end the inning. And he was the one that started the double play of his ground ball to Donaldson.
So the A's looking for a 2-out hit and the lead. Norris swings and misses at a fastball. 89 miles an hour, but just a little up in the strike zone. Norris with a foul out and a fly ball to left field. Foul out was to third, so he's 0 for 2.
If you look back to the 2nd inning, we talked about Seth Smith scoring from first on the double by Donaldson, the aggressiveness of Mike Gallego sending him. But if the inning had panned out the way it did, one would not have scored if it stopped at third. A couple of pop-ups, one foul, one in play to the third baseman and a ground out. Sometimes early in the game, you take some chances. Mike Gallego did and scored the run, the only run so far for the A's.
Norris with a line drive, base hit, left center field. Here comes Seth Smith. He's going to score. Digging for third is Donaldson, and Norris comes through, and the A's lead 2-1. So a big hit for Derek Norris.
Big in a lot of ways. That's going to be it for DeVries, but for Derek Norris, having a tough time, but comes through with a couple of outs. So all this, and you said it best, Kai. Just lead off the innings with a hit, couldn't do anything with him. This inning, first 2 outs, and then 3 consecutive singles, including a shot by Derek Norris over the shortstop in the left center. Almost went in the gap to the wall, but at least he drives home the go-ahead run with 2 outs in this inning.
So Norris gets the big hit. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
The pitch for Minnesota. Number 51.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And by Jack in the Box. Get the all-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores.
Now Derek Norris with the 2-out RBI hit. So the A's take a 2-1 lead. The Freeze gone after 5 2/3 innings. So Anthony Swarzak comes in. 26-year-old right-hander for the Twins. First pitch to Rosales is foul back. Swarzak just back from the disabled list last week. He has made 4 starts this year. 28 relief appearances.
One of those appearances out of the bullpen against the A's gave up a home run to Brandon Moss in Dunsing's start on the 14th of July.
Rosales tomahawks one down the left field line. Foul.
What a quick stroke by Adam Rosales, and well, you're right, pitch up and in, and he almost was able to hit it right down to the corner. Donaldson, one of the 3 singles for the Athletics in this inning, standing at third, hoping for it to stay fair.
So 0-2, Swarzak to Rosales. Donaldson at third. Norris at first. Curveball stays a bit high. Swarzak made 11 starts last year for the Twins. One-two pitch, poke foul.
See the aggressiveness from Adam Rosales until he got 2 strikes, especially the 0-1, but then with a couple of strikes, just trying to make contact, try to get a good pitch, foul off the tough ones. And that last one was a tough one. Good curveball from Swarzak, who throws a couple of different fastballs. He will top out about 93. Curveball, slider, and changeup in addition to a couple of different fastballs. Those runners are DeVries.
Slowly hit. Kloof flips to first just in time to get Rosales. A's grab the lead on the Norris RBI signal. 7th inning coming up. 2-1 Athletics. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style is sizzling steaks, a moonlit steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. RoaringCamp.com. So the A's have the lead 2-1. It's the 7th inning. Brett Anderson back to work. And he's going to face Mastroianni and then Mauer and Willingham. So 2, 3, and 4. Anderson has thrown just 76 pitches in 6 innings.
That is tremendous.
So he's going to get the A's deep into the game. Curveball to Mastroianni is high.
Now with the bullpen active for the Athletics, lefty and righty. What you're basically looking at, of course, it's Neshek and Doolittle, but the pitch count, great. But it's the old saying about the ups and downs, you know, the sitting down, getting back up, and going back out, getting loose for the 8 pitches between innings.
Just missed, and now 3-0. Mastroianni is struck out and grounded to short. And that one called a strike. Strike 2, 3-2. So Anderson gets the high strike call there.
Well, that question was whether the outside part of the plate as well, but was called a strike.
And that one, strike 3. So another strikeout, make it 6 strikeouts for Anderson.
Well, the first inning for Brett Anderson, and not surprising, 21 pitches. There's the wild pitch that allowed a run to score. Revere, who led off the game, but then settled down with a great curveball for Brett Anderson. You see the number of curveballs thrown to the right-handers, especially, and none better than this one in this inning. Started 3-0, and then 3 consecutive fastballs outside of the part of the plate for strikes.
So Mauer, first pitch strike. No walks, 6 strikeouts.
And 11 ground ball outs through 6 innings. Strikeout here, and 3 of those with a triple play.
And a quick 0-2. So maybe the triple play was the turning point in the game.
Absolutely.
Big chopper, Rosales. No problem there. 4-3 on the putout.
It's a great point because you start the inning, first 2 guys reach base with singles. And then on the first pitch to Plouffe, it's a 5-4-3 triple play. You're hoping for a double play. You end up getting 3 with 1 swing of the bat. Started by that man, Josh Donaldson, who wanted to play solid defense. Well, he definitely did it tonight, starting the triple play.
Willingham bounces it. Donaldson has it. Throw in time, and Brett Anderson has a 10-pitch inning. He's rolling along. 7th inning stretch. It's the A's 2 and the Twins 1. 7 innings. He's got a 2-1 lead. And right now, the bullpen is quiet. Let's see if it stays that way. So top of the order for the Athletics, Crisp, Drew, and Reddick. So Anthony Swarzak got the final out in the 6th inning. He faces Crisp here in the 7th. Coco shows bunt, takes inside. One for 3 tonight for Coco Crisp. Which is low. 2-0. The Mariners scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they lead the Indians 5-1. Coco down the right field line, and it's fair. And Coco headed for second, and he's going to stop there with a double. Leadoff man aboard for the A's and in scoring position.
Coco had the ball in front of him as it hooked down into the corner and shut it down at second base. Fastball inside, turned on it, and I don't know if you can see it. Watch the ball hit and then really dart towards foul territory down in the corner. But playing nicely, but Coco happy with the leadoff double. And to be thinking about 3, but the ball was hit a little bit too hard. Ty Waller saying go on, and that's when Coco, who smart enough base runner to realize he could see the ball and know he did not have a chance to get to third.
So Stephen Drew steps in. Plouffe, the third baseman, comes in on the grass. First pitch bounced towards short. Florimon has it, flips to first. So Drew cannot get Crisp over. Florimon, the shortstop, was shaded towards second base, so he had to move to his right a couple steps and made a decent play.
Now then, Chris thought about going to third base, but wisely back to second because Florimon would have had plenty of time to get Coco at third, so he remains in scoring position. But they double in the 2nd inning, and Donaldson was stranded. The A's would like to see something happen in this inning with a leadoff double.
Fastball is high to Reddick. Reddick, a fly ball to left, a walk, and a fly ball to center field. Foul tip. One more note on that Mariners game, which is now in the top of the 8th. Felix Hernandez is pitching. And as we see the highlights from that game, Ray, I think Safeco Field is sold out. And everybody has yellow T-shirts on, which, if you've been to Safeco Field, when Hernandez pitches, he has the group down the left field line, Kings Court. I think the group has gotten a little bit bigger as the season has gone up. They all wear yellow shirts, and when he gets 2 strikes on a hitter, they stand up and they make a pretty good scene down the left field line. But what stands out is they all have yellow T-shirts on. Well, tonight, everybody at Safeco has yellow T-shirts on.
Might have been a giveaway. Everybody did.
You know what? It may have been. That's
and then they just put it right over whatever they're wearing, and
it's quite a scene. And the Mariners are winning again, 5-1.
And he is the draw.
Yeah.
And why not? Thought Johnny Vandermeer is safe because no back-to-back no-hitters.
Little flare, left field, and that's going to drop fair. So Reddick bloops a single. Coco Crisp comes in to score, and it's 3-1.
Oh, that's great. Great personally for Josh Reddick. Then strike 2 call, which might have been out of the strike zone, but it was called anyway. And then tried to go back inside and just fought it off. Flared it to left field. And just sliced it right down the line. Willingham could not get to it, and it landed fair. Coco Crisp read it perfectly, as he knew Willingham was not going to get to it, and if it was fair, he was going to score, which he does easily. Big, big hit. And your tooth is hurting, you got ice bag, that helps. Take a little of the pain away. And a big run for the A's and Brett Anderson, who is finished for the night after 7 innings.
Want to know to Cespedes. He lines one to left. Willingham coming in, and he cannot make the play. Reddick to second. So Cespedes has a line single. Willingham had a shot at making the play, but could not come up with it.
Ball sinking so quickly on Willingham, and there's the hanging slider that Cespedes had missed a few times tonight against the Freeze, but Willingham fortunate to get his glove down and keep the ball from scooting between his legs. Double barrel bullpen for the Athletics and Rick Anderson, 11th season pitching coach for the Twins. I mentioned Ron Gardenhire, same for Rick Anderson, excellent pitching coach, many seasons with the Twins, and a challenge this season.
Second worst team ERA in the American League. So Swarzak is going to stay in the game.
They called that an error 7. Can you imagine that?
They did?
No, you're wrong, B.I. That's horrible. And Willingham even says it's horrible. Come on.
So an E7. Wow.
Oh. I'm not even going to change it. I've got base hit.
Here's Carter. First pitch from Swarzak is inside to Carter.
What in? Oh, I know. Lost it in the sun, but he didn't put up his hands. They couldn't see it. That's what it was. Holy. It's brutal.
Carter pops it up, and it will be into the seats. Morneau heads over, but runs out of room. So 1-1 the count. So you were right, Ray. The giveaway in Seattle was the T-shirts. They gave away 34,000 of those T-shirts. 34 is
right.
Felix's number. So 34,000 T-shirts given away.
The other 15,000 bought them. That's a nice sellout.
Ooh. Left center, and that's going to get down for a hit. Reddick will score. Cespedes digging the third. Carter has an RBI double. It's 4-1 Athletics.
Well, I'm going to put down double RBI just in case.
So Carter gets his first hit.
Try to go fastball and pull the quick hands, and Chris Carter very quick, and that's great shot, pulling the hands in to get the good part of the bat on the ball, driving it to left center. And well, Rivera, good job cutting it off. Otherwise, Cespedes is going to score from first. Almost did anyway.
So RBI number 24 for Carter. And still just one out. 3 hits and an error in the inning. Now they're going to walk Smith. So Smith, who has singled twice and walked in his first 3 at-bats, he's going to be on base again. Reddick with an RBI single and a run score. It all started with Coco's double. So with the bases loaded and 1 out, we're going to get a pitching change. So Swarzak knocked around here in the 7th and knocked out. 4-1 A's lead. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek's Tropical Riches. Win cash and prizes daily through September 30th. Visit cachecreek.com for details. So the A's have scored twice to take a 4-1 lead, and they have a chance to score much more. Bases loaded, 1 out. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Jeff Gray, the former Athletic, comes in. And he's going to face a hot hitter in Josh Donaldson.
With the number 6 wins, high ERA, but a very, very hard two-seam fastball. Great sinker, slider. There's the slider bit. With the A's and with the teams he's played for, Jeff Gray has had that turbo sinker and the intentional walk. Load the bases and bringing Smith in to try to get the double play.
And that one chopped out in front. It's picked up by the catcher Doman, who steps on the bag and then throws to first, and it hit Donaldson.
Interference.
It goes down the right field line, but the home plate umpire is going to call interference, and he did, and that's going to be a double play. So we'll take a closer look at this play when we come back, as Bob Melvin wants to argue that it's going to be an inning-ending double play. but more controversy, and the inning ending, what turns out to be a double play, right?
Josh Donaldson slipping out of the batter's box. Dolman calmly goes back, touches the plate, did not have a chance to clear himself. Donaldson's a hit on the back, but if you see where he's running, Dolman threw right into him, and Donaldson running inside the baseline, which constitutes out of the path of running to first base. And he's asking what, and that's the interference called by the home plate umpire, and he's out for running inside the baseline. There is a path that hitters are supposed to run into, but a lot of times the follow through, they end up on the inside, and Donaldson was running just enough inside the line when he was hit, and that's why he was called out.
Well, you know what comes into play there, Ray, which makes it a little bit of a questionable call, is the catcher is on the foul territory side of the baseline, and he's throwing to a first baseman who is set up on the inside, right, the fair side of the baseline. So the ball has to travel right past the runner.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not terribly out of the baseline.
No, but unfortunately just enough inside the line. But you're right, Morneau should have been to the foul side to give him a better target to throw to.
That was kind of strange, actually. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and spawn experts as Sean Doolittle comes in. Doolittle last pitched on Thursday in Kansas City, so he's had some time off. Pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. 7 strikeouts now for A's pitchers.
Brett Anderson, tremendous outing. 7 innings, just 1 run, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and 86 pitches for the left-hander. And
Ryan Newman.
Kurt Young saying if he goes 100 pitches, but how about 7 innings? 13 ground ball outs for Brett Anderson, and just looking back at some of his starts last year before he went on the disabled list, he made 13 starts, and there are only 5 of the 13 that he was not in double figures in ground ball outs, with one of the highest. 15 of them against Cleveland. 15 ground ball outs. So he's a ground ball pitcher, got him tonight, which helped.
Dolman swings at the first pitch as he played for Reddick, and that's out number 2. Here's our Chevron pitching matchup for tomorrow's radio-only game. Day baseball against the Twins. Liam Hendricks just called up. He's going to make the start against Tommy Malone, who's looking for his 10th win. So there's your pitching matchup, 12:30. And again, radio only. So catch it on 95.7 FM, The Game. After the game, the A's will fly to Florida, St. Petersburg, for a 3-game series starting Thursday night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a rare off day on Sunday. The A's will travel on Sunday to Cleveland. Why an off day, you say? Well, it's the Republican National Convention. Is that right? I believe so. And it's in the Tampa St. Pete area, so the hotels are few and far between. Hotel rooms, I would imagine.
And evidently the Tropicana Field is going to be used for a big dinner function that as soon as the A's play the game Saturday, they will convert the field to a party area.
Gotcha.
For the convention. And it's actually, the convention is being taken place in Tampa across the bridge. They need Tropicana Field. They're going to get it.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Plouffe strikes out. How about that inning for Sean Doolittle? Quickly done with a couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
upper deck? No way!
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This is our highlight for tonight. It's not a double play, folks. That's a triple play. Brett Anderson got some help with the triple play. Outside of that, he was terrific. 7 innings, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and with the game tied at 1, Derek Norris, 2-out RBI single to give the A's the 2-1 lead. A's would add a pair in the 7th. So 1-4-1 for the Twins, 4-9-0 for the Athletics. That's your game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
In a very odd scorebook for the Twins, not one runner left on base after the first inning, minimum. Batters faced by the Athletics pitcher Brett Anderson, of course, with the triple play helped out, but Sean Doolittle just blew fastballs by 2 of the hitters that he faced in the 8th inning. Grant Balfour starts to get loose for the Athletics.
Two 2-0 now to Derek Norris, who'll be followed by Rosales and Chris. Grant Balfour. High drive to left center, but in the ballpark. Revere goes back. He's got it. So that is out number 1. Rangers lost tonight. Orioles 5, the Rangers 3. Tillman over Feldman. Nate McCluth hit a 2-run homer. He's done a pretty good job for the Orioles. They're giving him a chance to play. He's bounced around a little bit. Angels beat the Red Sox 5-3. Santana over Cook. Trumbo hit his 30th home run of the year, so the Angels snapped that 4-game losing streak there. They desperately need a winning streak. Royals 1, Rays nothing in 10 innings. Hochevar and Price, both starters, got no decision, but they were terrific. Hosmer had an RBI hit in the 10th, and that was the game winner in the top of the 10th. So Price was trying to become Major League Baseball's first 17-game winner, but he ends up with a no decision. The thing with Price is now you start looking when he pitched, and you kind of hope that he's not going to pitch against your team. So today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's not going to pitch against the O's. That is.
He would pitch Sunday, but since they moved up the off day, or moved back to Sunday instead of Thursday.
Rosie skies one. Willingham near the corner, settles underneath it. He's got it for out number 2. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by the California Golden Bears. The Bears are back at Berkeley this fall, and tickets are on sale now at calbears.com. Bears Memorial Stadium renovated. So they're excited about playing in their revamped stadium. Pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. A's with a 4-1 lead.
Time now for the AT&T U-verse reverse replay, triple play. How about a 5-4-3? Donaldson, Rosales to Carter. Plouffe, step on the bag. Rosales stayed in at second base. Strong throw is. He knew history was in the making. Brett Anderson loved it. That's why Adam Rosales was staying in there and said, I'll use my strong arm. Hit me hard if you want to, but I'll complete the triple play.
He did.
Wow. 18-83. Last one here.
New pitcher is Tyler Robertson. He's going to throw 2 pitches, and he's going to get Coco Crisp side retired. 9th inning coming up. A's 3 outs away from a win. They lead the Twins. A's with a 4-1 lead over the Twins. Top of the 9th inning. That can only mean one thing. Grant Balfour is in the game. And he is going for the save. He's got a 3-run lead. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Balfour in looking for his 12th save and trying to get Brett Anderson a W. Wouldn't that be nice? First start since last June for Brett Anderson. So Jamie Carroll will lead it off. He'll be followed by Pedro Florimon and then Ben Revere. 8-9-1. Balfour. A little yard work. Now he's ready.
Well, great to see Sean Doolittle come in the 8th inning and just use the fastball, blow 2 hitters away, and did his job in setting up Matt Balfour.
First pitch is a strike to Carroll. Carroll is 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 7 in the series. High fastball again. 1-1 the count.
A couple of years ago, Jamie Carroll signed with the Dodgers. At the time, the A's were thinking about signing him, and talking to him today, he said his agent told him that the A's had some interest at the trading deadline this season of maybe acquiring him. It happened, and the A's made the trade for Drew after the trading deadline.
So Carroll is retired. last win, May 16th of 2011 for Brett Anderson.
He didn't look like he needed Tommy John surgery.
That is not a breaking ball that is thrown by a man who needs Tommy John surgery.
And he needed to lose weight. That's why he went on the DL. Just see the difference in that shot and what he is today. I mean,
what they say, 25 pounds?
I mean, he looked absolutely great, even as he was rehabbing. And he said he realized that maybe something he needed to do. He had nothing but time to be able to work on it. He did. And oh, what an outstanding performance tonight. Looked great, pitched better.
0-1 to Pedro Florimon, who has struck out twice. Bit high, 1-1 the count. Florimon had 3 hits last night, but he's been quiet tonight. Miles an hour, but just a bit high, so 2-1 the count. Keep it right here on Comcast Sportsnet California after the game. A's post-game live. That one sliced foul. Well, that youngster waited till the 9th inning, 1 out, and he got himself a souvenir.
Well, he realized it's free parking Tuesday by Chevy, and so he got free parking, stick around to the 9th inning, and get a souvenir.
Fair ball. Carter has it to the bag himself. 2 outs. So top of the order and Ben Revere.
Now batting, number 11, Ben Revere.
Game's a final in Seattle. The Mariners won behind Felix Hernandez, so Seattle wins their 7th consecutive game. First pitch to Revere. He's a strike. Ben Revere is 1 for 3. Scored the Twins' only run way back in the 1st inning. Pop-up foul, and now Balfour 1 strike away from finishing this baby off. Getting the Athletics their 66th win of the year. Trying to get them back over the 10 games over the 500 mark. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and that's the ball game. So nice job by the A's bullpen. Doolittle in the 8th, Balfour in the 9th, and Brett Anderson has himself a W. He was sensational, and the A's get the win to even up this 3-game series at a game apiece. Final score, the A's behind Brett Anderson win it 4-1 over the Twins. Day baseball tomorrow, radio only. It'll be the rubber game of the series. Athletics 4 and the Twins 1, and that is your final score. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Henry Wolford and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.